boy, stop being lazy. Yeah, and I became creative. And I learned how to create it. And now that pride's for me. So come see. Oh, come here.
Welcome back to the Silver Lining Podcast. I'm your host, Sterlington. This is your co-host, Cameron. How you doing, Cam?
Feeling pretty good, man. Feeling optimistic about this weekend.
Hey, that's a nice feeling, man. That feeling has been scant in these parts, as they say.
Oh, yes. Through November, through the start of December, but hopefully, Christmas is upon us. Hopefully, he has a nice gift for us.
Hey, man, sure. Early Christmas for us this year, right?
Hey, I'm hoping for that. Hey, that's on the wish list.
Hey, man, loved. Woo! Well, look, let's see now. We got a lot to well, not a lot to cover actually. This is probably gonna be a pretty short episode. So, this is an important game though. This is an important game. So, over the last few weeks, we had been hung up on the Falcons being, number one in the division and trying to win the division, and it was like, all right, we got to win. Tampa got to lose. Yada yada yada. But there is a path for us to make it in the wild card. So, we have 3 games left. Washington also has 3 games left. They draw Philly this weekend. I can't remember if it's in Philly or in Washington. I want to say this one's in Philly though.
Yeah, it's in
They
Philly.
played on Thursday, right? Didn't they play on a Thursday? And that was in Washington, right?
Washington and lost.
So and look, and Philly got something to play for. Philly's still trying to see if they can get that number 1 seed. All right. So Philly is, Minnesota is, Detroit, all of them trying to get that number 1 seed. So Philly got something to play for. They got Washington. If Washington lose to Philly, they're gonna be 9-6. We beat the Giants. We're gonna be 8-7. We marching in Sunday Night Football on prime time. If we go ahead and catch that win, that would make both of us 9-7 with us having a head-to-head victory, and then that would make the game against Carolina win or get in, regardless of whether or not the Bucks lose or not. All right. So we got an important game coming up against us. And we got an important debut for the future of the franchise coming up. We got Michael Penix Jr. starting this week. As we all know, we covered it in an hour-long episode yesterday. We going against the New York Giants at home, right? And the Giants is a team that is in massive disarray. Coach probably getting let go this season. GM probably getting let go this season. Quarterback already got his walking papers. Defense, I mean, their O-line is ravaged with injuries. Their starting left tackle, Andrew Thomas, out. John Runyon Jr.? Yeah, Jr. Yeah, that's right. His dad played for the Eagles, but John Runyon Jr. out. That's the left guard for the Giants. And I think the backup's out too. I don't know where I got that information on, but I think they're starting an undrafted guy at the left guard spot. And I'm like, yo, this is a team that's giving up sacks of late. We're a team that's getting sacks of late. And then when you switch over to the defensive side, they got some dogs, but one of their main ones is out. They got Dexter Lawrence, either the best or second best defensive tackle in the league. He's out for the rest of the year. Brian Burns playing injured. I hope he missed the game. It's not looking like it. I would love for him to miss the game because, as we know, he plays against Caleb McGarry, and Michael Penix Jr. is a lefty. And hate for that pressure to be coming from his blind side. Now, when we talk about our offense, what we want to see, I want to see a well-balanced attack. So the Giants, they're bad. Like we said on the postcast or the Quicksilver reaction to the victory over the Raiders, the Giants are the NFC's version of the Raiders. There's nothing this team does well. In order for you to lose to them, you have to more or less actively lose to them. In fact, actually, it brings context to certain things. So I remember earlier in the year when the Panthers switched from Bryce Young to Andy Dalton. And then all of a sudden the offense exploded and it was like, oh, okay, yeah, Andy Dalton was looking good. Well, damn, who would have known that? Yeah, it turns out the Raiders are worse than the Panthers. Maybe it didn't have shit to do with him. Maybe that was the one game Bryce Young should have started. He playing against the damn Raiders, man. They were horrible. So we got a team that in the Giants that brings very little to the table. They have a good pass rusher in Brian Burns. They can't cover. They can't stop the run. What's amazing about this team when we looking at numbers, right, is that as far as percentage of pass plays called against them. So this is the percentage of plays that teams choose to pass against them. It's the second highest in the league. So it seems like teams are opting to pass against them, right? Because conversely, they have the second lowest percentage of plays against them being run plays. Somehow, despite having the second lowest percentage of runs against them, they give up like the second most rush yards in the league. Like, really let that sink in. This is a team that they barely see any run plays, but when they do, teams are highly successful. They're giving up like 5 yards a carry. They would give up like 143 rushing yards a game. So this sounds like this is a game that's going to be highly successful for Bijan, a highly successful game for Tyler Algier. When it comes to the passing offense, they give up a ton of yards. Let me see if I can pull up that for you guys. Where'd I have it? What were the exact numbers on the passing defense? So they don't get any picks, by the way. They're the worst team at taking the ball away through the air. They only have 2 interceptions all year, right? This is a team that, as far as passes attempts a game, they are the number 1 as far as pass attempts a game they face, giving up 28 a game. When you talk about opponent completion percentage, they allow 70% completion percentage against teams. That's 30th in the NFL. When you talk about opponents' yards per pass, they give up 7.7. That's 29th in the NFL, right? So this is a team that brings 0 to the table in terms of what their defense can do. It's a perfect way for Michael Penix Jr. to be able to come in and make his debut. What's your thoughts on what we're facing on the defense today, Cam?
The defense we're facing is not very good. They're not very good. A lot of their stars are out. Really, their biggest player is Brian Burns. Kayvon Thibodeau's okay, but they don't really have any go-to stars. Like you said before, they're giving up a lot of rushing yards, and they're giving them high value. So I anticipate Tyler Algier and Bijan to go crazy. Offensively, I'm thinking Pickens is gonna have a good game. I'm thinking we're gonna incorporate a lot of play action. I think Zach Robinson will finally be able to open up the playbook. He has a mobile QB. Granted, I don't think he's gonna have any design runs for Mike. I think it's just gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be anything like that, but I do think he's gonna showcase his mobility in being able to extend plays. And I'm excited for that because that was something Kirk sorely lacked for his game, and it was showing. He was sagging every time he got touched. It was either a sack or a fumble. He was throwing interceptions. He was forcing it. He looked uncomfortable in the pocket. Things looked bad. So now things are kind of looking on the up and up. I'm thinking this will give us a little jolt in the team as well offensively because I want to say over the last 4 or 5 games, we've averaged under 20 points a game. We haven't looked good.
Under 15, honestly.
I want to say we averaged, would you say 14, 15?
We've averaged 14.4 over our last 5.
Exactly, man. But I'm thinking that's going to shoot up this Sunday. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. I need us to go ahead and run up a check on the Giants tab. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to go in and look, we got to establish the ground game, right? We gotta really get that part of the offense going. And for FFS, for fuck's sake, please, Zach, let me see some play action, man. And not just play action pass. Let me see, let us see what Penix's arm does. You know what I'm saying? I'm in love with his ability to throw the deep ball. I want to see some play action shots to our deep threats. I want to see play action shots to Darnell Mooney. I want to see play action shots to Kyle Pitts. I want to see play action to Ray McLeod. You know what I'm saying? And Drake is very good at getting his own. Thank God we for Drake, because Drake's not super explosive, but Drake is physical. He knows how to work against man. He knows how to work against zone, and he's good at catching the ball in contested spaces. So Drake, I expect to be able to get his own, but I want to see us do everything we can to make Michael Penix Jr. comfortable at the starter, because as we just talked about at the top, we got a big game coming up next week on Sunday night. And we need Michael Penix to get his chance to be ready. Michael Penix Jr. didn't get a chance to play in preseason. He only had mop-up duty against the Seahawks and against the Broncos. I personally would have loved to have seen him get some mop-up duty against the Vikings, but we didn't get to see that. So we need to be making sure we're doing everything we can to help Michael Penix Jr. be prepared. I think this is a great team for Michael Penix Jr. to do that against, because this is a team that, while they do get some pressure now, this is a team that with the Giants, they do have 41 sacks. So they have 41 sacks, but also that I think that number is a little bloated because, at least for this version of the team, because like you said, don't have Dexter Lawrence. Brian Burns is playing hurt, but also this is a team that sees a high volume of passes. I think nobody has the ball thrown on them more than this team. So this is a team that part of the reason they have such a high volume of sacks is because they see such a high volume of pass plays. Right. So we got a team that, maybe, and it's good because they still get some pressure. So that means, Michael not gonna just be standing back there playing 7-on-7, and then he play against a real pass rush, and he like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming. You know what I'm saying? He gonna still have to move around some in this game. But he's playing against a secondary that doesn't really force any turnovers at all. He playing against a team that if the pass game isn't really working, we can still turn around and hand it off and get successful offense. Because I think the biggest thing here is just establishing a rhythm for the offense. We need to get Michael Penix Jr. Just in rhythm. And if that means that sometimes, we're gonna have to run a lot just to keep the offense on the field, keep their offense off the field, keep Michael Penix Jr. ahead in the sticks, make sure that we are in positive, in short and medium length third downs, which this should be no problem against this team. Then I think we'll be good.
Oh,
all right.
I agree. I couldn't have said it better myself, my man.
All right, love to hear that. Now, excuse me. As far as what our defense is going against, same thing, man. Giants ain't bringing anything to this table we hadn't seen this year. The Giants, the offense is really the part that's in disarray. Like the defense, they're missing their best player on defense. They are always out there because their offense is bad. And then they're also bad at stopping the run. Like they got like the worst mix of recipes, the worst recipe, worst mix, or whatever. You get what I'm saying. They got an awful conglomerate of traits to have on the defense as far as the situation and as far as their own ailments as a defense. And a lot of that is going to come from this offense that the Giants bringing out. I don't even know who the hell the Giants can play. So the quarterback that they started the year with obviously was Daniel Jones. He's not even with the team anymore. Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito's out. Drew Lock is dealing with an injury. And it's looking like maybe Tim Boyle might play. Either Tim Boyle or Drew Lock. Now, did you get any updates on that, Cam, about who's going to be starting quarterback for them?
It's a good to strong chance. It's more than likely going to be Drew Lock.
Okay. So we might see Drew Lock. Now, Drew Lock is probably better for them than is Tim Boyle. So, they have that. But I mean, I don't know what Drew Lock's going to do or bring to this that is going to change anything. Now, the Giants aren't where they do bring a little something is that they aren't completely inept on as far as running the team. running the ball. Excuse me. They have Tyrone Tracy Jr. And to be fair, only reason I really know who that is from fantasy. God bless him. Dude been saving my bacon this year. But he's questionable. He's dealing with injury right now. And they also have Devin Singletary, the former Buffalo Bill. He's a small back though. He's not really a big bruising bag. So he's not gonna be a guy who come in here running guys over. Like who was that? Somebody ran Justin Simmons over last week. It was an unfortunate one because sometimes you get the okey doke when you get ran over on the field, and he just happened to make contact when he only had 1 foot on the ground. So he got hit and then like knocked off balance on that 1 foot and got ran over real bad. But Devin Singletary ain't gonna be able to do that. Devin Singletary going down in that same situation. So they have competent running backs, but they have incompetence at quarterback. They have injuries at the O-line. This is gonna be a team that struggles to pass protect. This is a team that's been giving up quite a few sacks. I want to say they've given up somewhere between 9 and 12. I think it was 11 sacks, something like that, over the last like 2-3 weeks or something like that. So they giving up a lot of sacks, and wouldn't you know it? Because normally when you talking about the Falcons and you bringing up sacks, you be like, why are you talking about sacks? Because we don't get none. But man, I'm here to let y'all boys know. Last 3 weeks, Falcons been a top 2, top 3 team in the NFL and getting sacks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that include the Vikings. That include the Chargers. And now we got a team over here that can't protect the quarterback. We got to do what we got to do. We got to bust in the backfield and go ahead and get some pressure.
Exactly. I'm kind of already seeing the recipe for this game.
Right. And now and even with receiving threats, like honest to God, outside of Malik Neighbors, barren. They got nothing at receiver. This is really a team that when I say this team is like Oakland Raiders Junior, man. Look, just cover that one dude, make sure you get the pressure because they can't do it, stop the run. And I think we can stop them. What you think about our defense facing this offense?
Oh, I'm looking forward to this aspect of the game. I'm thinking our defense is going to be the ones that set the tempo for this game. Our defense is going to set the tempo. They're going to be the ones who they're going to have to get stops. They're going to have to get sacks. They're going to have to force turnovers. And this Giants team is terrible. Even when they're healthy, they're still devoid of talent in certain places.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now you've taken those good pieces away. Like they're missing two of their offensive linemen. They're missing Dexter Lawrence. Brian Burns is hurt. The other guys aren't really contributing as much as they should. This team is bad. There's a reason they're fighting for the number 1 draft pick. I'm excited to see how don't get me wrong, I'm excited for Michael Penix, but I'm more excited for how our defense is gonna do. I can't even really say that. I'm excited for Penix. I can't even say that.
Nothing, brother. I was like, hey man, shit. Hey, some people out there, they just love defense so damn much, man. They can't help it.
This defense is I'm anticipating a very good game because they had a very good game against the Raiders. Defense and special teams play their ass off. And
against the Raiders. I thought you said the Ravens because I think the Giants played the Ravens last week.
Yeah.
And Lamar had 5 passing touchdowns.
Oh, I'm trying to tell you, dog.
Like, yeah, so that's what's going on there.
But I'm liking how our defense is gonna do, man. I'm anticipating a very good matchup.
Now, one of the things, though, we normally don't cover, and we're not about to cover now because I actually don't have anything to talk about, but I am curious to see how special teams plays a role in this game because special teams has been sneaky good for us sometimes this year. Obviously, it's been marred by all of the misses Koo has had and the occasional good return we'll give up. But special teams, man, the punt block team, they've been A1. You know, we forgot to shout out old Kadero Hodge, man, number 12.
Mr. Stay ready, don't get
NFC
ready.
Special Teams Player of the Week last week, as he should be. You know what I'm saying? And he reminds me so much of Kasim Osgood. I know some people don't even know who the hell that is. He was basically the same exact player for the Chargers like 15 years ago, something like that. Like he was like fourth or fifth string receiver who rarely got a pass. Like every so often they throw him a bone. But they threw him a bone because he was so damn good on special teams that they just had to. Like he was a guy who he was going to be blocking punts like Kadero Hodge. If a guy broke loose on a run, I've seen a couple times where Kasim Osgood where a guy might break loose for a run on a return, and then he'll chase him down and force a fumble. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you gotta love players like that. And Kadero Hodge, man, God, I just love seeing him be successful because that dude has always gone hard in his role. Maybe he's not always gonna be a star receiver or anything, but he knows his role on the team and he does his role as best he can. And
Oh,
that's pretty damn good.
oh, absolutely, man. He is a hustle player. I call him Mr. Stay Ready, Don't Get Ready, because he is always ready when the opportunity presents himself.
That is
Like
facts.
he doesn't really put a bad foot forward. I'm he's a locker room guy. He's a guy you need on your team.
Yeah, look, I agree, man. You gotta have a guy like that. Look, there's only one ball on the team. All right, everybody can get the ball. Sometimes, you know, you got to be the guy who you're a receiver, but you rarely get in. But like you said, man, when his number gets called, he is ready. He was ready when we played Tampa, and he, you know, Drake London had to come out for a play, and Kadero Hodge did his thing, and then he was ready for all them fake punts that he got, the ones against Dallas. Did we see a fake punt attempt against the Chargers? Am I remembering that wrong?
I don't believe so.
I think we did. And I think he got the tackle.
Actually, you might be right.
Yeah. Boy, that boy Kadero Hodge, man. Unsung hero. Got to have guys like that on the team.
Absolutely,
All right.
man. Need him.
So look, I think we can go ahead. Let me ask you this, Cam. So if you the Giants, you Brian Daboll, all right, you sitting up in your office. I know he's still awake in his office because he like, ooh, boy, I don't know how we're gonna pull this one out, but you Brian Daboll, how you about to take advantage of the Falcons, knowing what the situation is, and how you about to go ahead and get you a W, help your team get a W this week.
I'm gonna make sure Brian Burns is nice and rested. I'm gonna make sure he has the best medicine money can buy, best physical therapy money can buy, and I'm gonna attack McGarry because I know he's gonna be protecting Michael Penix's blind side. So
Yeah,
that's where I'm going. If I'm him, that is where I'm going. I'm trying to get a lot of pressure on Penix. He's a rookie QB. Truth be told, we don't really know what we're gonna get. I've seen quite a bit of his tape in college. I've seen, hey, when he got to Washington, he was injury free, man. And
yeah.
I saw a lot of positive things, man. I remember I watched that entire Texas game in the playoffs.
Hey, he cut
That man
Texas
was
ass up,
dialed
boy.
in. That man was dialed in. And granted, I saw the national title game, and even while watching that, I just saw his team get outclassed by better defense. Like they couldn't compete in the trenches. He was under pressure all night. He had a scramble. Some of his receivers dropped key passes. It is what it is. They lost. They didn't really have the dogs to fight that fight. But at the end of the day, I still think he was the best pure passer coming out of college. Going into this game, I'm very optimistic about how it plays out. Granted, we're going to rely on our run heavily. Like I think we're going to get a heavy dose of Bijan this game, heavy dose of Algier, take some of the pressure off of them, and I think we will dial up.
No. That's how the Falcons win. How the Giants winning?
Oh, my bad. We start talking
Forgot
about.
the assignment, boy.
I just spin zone it, man. Like, what? Thing is, I don't really see them getting the dub. No matter how this shakes out, the only way they do is if we get a lot of pressure on Penix. Maybe he fumbles. Maybe he throws a couple interceptions. But that's really about it, man. I've seen how the games have played out lately for them. They can't produce points, and they get tons of points put up on them.
Yeah, I
The
agree.
exception to that was that Saints game, but the Saints are dog shit too. And I think Carr got hurt. So
Yeah, Carr did get hurt in that game. You're right. And look, I'm right there with you, right? I'm not about to sit here and act like we some world beaters and we the juggernauts and that's about to run up in there and not have any challenge with them at all, right? They're still an NFL team, right? And if I'm the Giants and I'm saying, all right, how we about to beat this team? We about to be on the road. Excuse me, we getting a team that is starting a new quarterback. We getting a team that does have some weaknesses. The problem for me with the Giants is I'm not sure how they can exploit them, right? But if I'm the Giants, right, I want to stick to the things we do best. We don't really pass the ball that well, but when we pass them elite neighbors, we get good results. So I'm about to heavily feature Malik Neighbors and the run game in this game if possible, right? Now the issue for them, they're starting two backup offensive linemen on the same side. But if you're gonna, so that means that for me, I want to do everything I can to run the ball and do play action just to try to slow up that pass rush, right? For me, priority number one, move the ball on the ground. Priority number two, use play action to quell the pass rush. Priority number three, get the ball in Malik Neighbors' hands, right? Because that's the best and most explosive receiver they have. That's another thing too. The Falcons, they've switched to a more man-heavy scheme. We saw that when they played Minnesota, they could give up some deep balls. And I think, when we go and play action, if I'm the Giants, I want a chance to attack the Falcons deep, not AJ Terrell. And that's why I want to move Malik Neighbors around. I want to put him in the slot. I want to put him against any quarter that's not named AJ Terrell. And I want to give him a chance to try to flip the field, right? I also want to make this a slow game, and that's why I want to try to get my run game going. I don't want this to turn into a track meet of any sort. I don't want this to turn into a game where we have to put up over 20 points. I want this to be a game where if we put up 18, between 17 and 19 points, we get the W. All right. So that's my thoughts about their offense if I'm the Giants. Right. Now, if I'm the Giants defense, unfortunately, defense is dictated a little bit by offense. But what I'm going to do is I would assume that starting a rookie, they're going to want to get the run going. Now, especially against us, a team that would be a horrible run defense. This is like the worst run defense in the NFL. We're going to load the box. We're going to load the box, and we are going to try to trust our corners to have to be one-on-one. Now, maybe they're bad at both, but you're going to have to show me, right? So I'm going to put 8 in the box on every play, and we blitzing. We blitzing on almost every play, and I mean traditional blitz, like 5 or more, not, send an unexpected blitzer, like, just 5 or more. I want to make sure that we send a run blitzes to stop the run. I also want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to get pressure on Penix while playing press man. It's the same thing we've seen against the Falcons all year. One of their obvious weaknesses is sticky press man coverage. Pressure equals a problem for the offense. But for it to stay a problem for the offense, you got to take that run game out of it. So that's why, for me, if I'm the Giants, priority number 1, stop the run. Priority number 2, pressure on the rookie. And priority number 3, press man coverage. I don't want to if we get beat, we get beat. But we got to make sure that this rookie not just chilling and it's just like practice. Especially because as we know, the Giants were interested in Michael Penix Jr. They just ended up going with Malik Neighbors. Maybe they wanted to see what Daniel Jones could do one more year. I think that was a mistake on their part. But hey, that's that sunken cost fallacy. You done already picked him high. You done gave him a contract. Why not keep pouring into this and keep trying again and again and again? But that's neither here nor there. Now you the Falcons. You Raheem Morris. You Zach Robinson. You Jimmy Lake. Y'all putting y'all heads together and trying to figure out how you about to get this W. What you about to do in this game? What you need to see?
I'm getting a lot of pressure on Drew Lock or Tim Boyle or whoever at quarterback for them. Getting a lot of pressure on them. Like you said, I know we've been playing a lot of man coverage as of late. Make them beat us. They have one guy, Malik Neighbors. Like you can count Tyrone Tracy too. They have a running back and receiver. That is it. Dial in, get a lot of pressure, stop the run, make them force them to throw the ball, capitalize on mistakes because mistakes will be made, and do what we did against the Raiders to them. And then on offense, if I'm Zach, I'm finally opening the playbook. We finally got a guy who fits the mode, fits the system, has the rocket arm, has the mobility, can move around, can extend the play. I'm looking forward to seeing him really unleash the weapons that we have because we got some dogs out there. Darnell Mooney is super fast. I want us to utilize some play action, get some deep shots to him. Drake London, like you said, he always going to break somebody off. He's super physical, contested at the catch. He going to get his no matter what. Ray, I like how we're utilizing him. We're getting him all over the field. He's been, aside from that fumble in that Minnesota game, he's been very good in special teams as well. I'm liking what I've seen with Ray. Who else? We got a tons of weapons. Kyle Pitts. Let's get him the ball, man. Let's do some play action, get some ball, get the power to Kyle Pitts. Let's make him look good. Let's use the weapons we have because we got them. Like I feel like our offense has been operating at maybe like when Kirk was cooking. Even then, I feel like our offense is only like at 75%. I feel like it could really once we get it unlocked, once we get it really cooking, because we got the weapons. We're just not. It's just not all gelling together right now. And granted, it's not going to be any better considering we got a rookie quarterback at the helm. But I think it'll be a hell of a lot better than what Kirk was dishing out because we went 0-4 with him 1-5. Well, 1-4 with him in that stretch, and we essentially won in spite of him against the Raiders. So, going into this Sunday, I'm thinking we're going to get a heavy dose of running, a heavy dose of play action, and we're going to get a few deep shots. Now, as far as score wise, I'd say I'm leaning towards. I think we're gonna put up some points. It might not be as explosive as some people think, but like maybe not in the 30s. But I think we're gonna put up I think it'll be like a 27-14 game. I think we win by 2 scores.
All right.
Honestly,
so
I'm even stretching it by even them scoring 2 touchdowns. I think it'll be messing around and be like a 24-10 kind of game. The Giants don't have anybody except Malik. If they get like a lucky deep shot, or if Tyrone Tracy breaks one off, that's the only way I see them scoring points in bunches. Like legit things like that. Like if AJ get beat on a deep shot by Malik, or Tyrone break one off. But I don't see Tyrone break one off. But Malik doing something, maybe he's good. That maybe could happen. But aside from that, they ain't putting up points like that.
All right. Now, for me with the Falcons, I do think I do want to be respectful of the challenge that is truly in the Falcons' hands right now. So, if you think about winning the game, you're saying, all right, this is what we're going to do. But I think, we got to remember that we are trying to develop a rookie quarterback with 3 games left in the regular season and potentially a postseason run. and we got a team with a soft defense. I would, much as I would love for, and I'm gonna tell you, look, the keys to success is a heavy dose of the run, limit the pass game, limit the turnovers, and it'll a game like the Raiders, except a little more aggressive, and that's a W. But we don't have that luxury, right? That was when, if you would have just stuck with Kirk, then maybe you could do that. But right now, you got to develop Penix. When Penix was in college, he was a very high volume passer. He actually dropped back quite a few times. And you know what? We about to drop Penix back a lot if I'm Atlanta, right? Now I want to stay balanced, but I need Michael Penix Jr. to get his reps in. He has not practiced with these receivers before. He has not played in games with these guys, even when he hasn't played with them in preseason either. So in practice, the people he's usually practicing with are the scout team guys. And he hadn't played in preseason or the regular season. And even when he played in the regular season, it was garbage time. He's playing with the backups then too. I need to do everything I can to get him up to speed on the playbook, up to speed on his reads, up to speed on his rapport with his teammates. Right? So we're gonna heavily feature V John, and we're gonna heavily feature Tyler, but we're gonna let Michael throw the ball, right? If you ask me what the split is, I don't even think it's gonna be pure 50-50 if you're trying to develop your quarterback. I think you need to go ahead and maybe bump that up 53-47 pass. Like Penix needs to get the drop back. He need to see some of that pressure. Penix need to get some rapport with his guys. Right. So that's where my focus is for the Falcons on offense, because this is a team that's a good team to do it against. Now, as far as the defense, it's simple. I just want to see him play well against the run, take the run completely out of the game. Like, if you're going to get beat this game, I don't know how, but if you do, Drew Lock doing it. And Drew Lock ain't doing it with Tyrone Tracy by turning around and handing the ball off to Tyrone Tracy. And honestly, I know we hadn't done this, but since we've been playing more man anyway, let AJ follow Malik. Like, yeah, if you only got one receiver, well, he gonna always have to beat our best corner, or most of the time have to beat our best corner. And so if Drew Lock gonna beat us, he ain't gonna beat us throwing to Malik. I'm like, good luck with that. I don't think that's a winning recipe for these guys. So that's what I want to see as far as the stopping and running. And then, and this is a team that struggled to protect the passer lately. We have a team that have been good at getting after the passer. We are still last in the league in sacks. I want this team. So this team, if they keep this pace, they can realistically move up 6 spots in like the next 2 weeks. Maybe for the rest of the year, if they keep this pace, they might even be able to move into the low 20s, right? Yeah, I know that for us, that would be, that's how that would be. That's what that would be for us. But I really want to see this team stop the run. I want to see him press up against Malik. He got to be matched up against Terrell, and we got to get pressure. All right. With the sack numbers we've been getting, I want to see us. I want to see us get a season high in sacks this game. All right. Our most sacks in the game was it 5? 5 against the Chargers, or was it 5 against? I want to say it was 5 against the Chargers, and then it was 4 against Minnesota and 4 again last week. I want to see this team get at least 6 sacks. I want them to make this offense look like they shouldn't be on the field.
Oh, it'd be beautiful.
You know what I'm saying? Beautiful. Like this, they not. But New York, and I'm like, they look, they already know what their fate is. Honestly, don't feel like the only reason these guys playing hard is because Daboll probably about to lose his job. So it ain't good enough for him to. He ain't trying to tank. He ain't gonna be here next year. So yeah, they're gonna come out hard. So we got to go ahead, punch him in the mouth early, put him in positions to have to be in 3rd and long, so that we can keep getting pressure and then take off and don't allow explosive plays. Don't turn the ball over. Like, don't give them nothing. Make them earn everything they get with that offense, and I think we'll be fine. All right. Now, as far as the score prediction, I'm not going to be too lofty about what I think the offense will do. I think this will be a 20-point game, ideally. And I do think we should be able to put the clamps on that offense, especially if how the defense has played the last few games. Now, obviously, Minnesota, they cut ass on us. They put up 41. One of those touchdowns came off of a very short field from the McLeod fumble. But even then, that's still 34 points that they scored going down the field. But they did that with mostly explosive plays. All right. Giants ain't gonna be able to give explosive plays because what you notice is the Chargers, they couldn't get explosive plays against us. They ain't put up no points. Minnesota got several explosive plays against us. They put up a lot of points. Raiders couldn't get explosive plays against us, couldn't put up points. We got the Giants. Don't give up explosive plays. They won't put up points. We should be able to put up points against them. Final score should at least be 24-10. And that's my prediction on that. All right.
I like it. Very similar to mine. I think mine was like 27-10, 27-13, something like that.
Yeah. I mean, look, maybe I want to see a 2-score victory at minimum. Honestly, I'd like to see more because we're preparing for a playoff team or a playoff caliber team the following week. But it's the rookie's first game. Let's cut them some slack. All right, that's gonna be a game they probably gonna want to burn some clock. But like I said, I want to see them dropping Penix back a few. All right.
No, I agree. Eventually, we're going to have to see what we got. So we might as well just try. Like there's no need to baby. There's no need to babysit. I know we babysit Kurt because he's coming off the injury. We paid him all that money, but at the end of the day, we have to find out what we got. We got to see it.
I agree, man. I agree. But look, I think it's about that time, man. We've been here for a little while. We really enjoyed always having you guys, but we're gonna keep it short today because we tired, boss. We tired, boss. But we are excited though. We are excited. Cannot wait to see what this game yields. Can't wait to talk about it after with you guys. So really appreciate you guys taking some time to spend some time out with us this evening. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, hit the little bell when you want to know some real niggas uploading. Peace.